Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Bookmas. As you can see, I have my lovely TBR cart out today, and that is because I'm going to be choosing my December TBR. But before we pick the books for December, I actually have 2 more books to add to my cart, which is thanks to today's sponsor, Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a monthly subscription service for readers that brings the best new fiction forward by promoting new and emerging authors that I probably wouldn't have found unless I used Book of the Month. Every month they have a carefully selected short list of books that you get to choose from, so instead of doing the researching and figuring out what to read next, you can just focus on actually doing the reading. They also offer free shipping, a loyalty program, and their reader's guarantee, so if you pick out a book and you didn't really love it, then they will replace that book in your next box free of charge. I am so excited about my picks for the month of December. The first one I chose was Buckeye by Patrick Ryan. This is a historical fiction, which I feel like is a genre that I'm slowly dipping my toes into more and more, and I feel like I'm just loving it more and more. This is set during World War II, and there's an affair that connects these two families. I feel like there's going to be a lot of drama in this book, and because of that, and it being a historical fiction, I think I'm really going to enjoy it. And this is also a book that I don't think I would have found unless I used Book of the Month. And my second pick for the month of December, I have heard nothing but amazing things about, and that is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I actually chose First Time Caller by her in my February Book of the Month box and really enjoyed that one, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy this one as well. This is a gothic holiday romance, and the male main character is the ghost of Christmas past, and he is haunting our female main character. That sounds so fun. And since it is December, a Book of the Month subscription would also make a really great gift. They offer 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month subscriptions. And with instant delivery, it is also a great last-minute gift option for all the book lovers in your life. Book of the Month is offering a special offer right now where you can get your first book for only $5 if you use the code HOLLY, as well as getting a free hat. Mine says I Heart Books. Is this not the cutest little beanie you've ever seen? So if you're interested in all Book of the Month has to offer, be sure to click the link in my description down below. And if you already subscribed to Book of the Month, let me know what books you picked for the month of December, and thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Now that we have added my Book of the Month books to the TBR cart, it is now time to choose my December TBR, and it's gonna be a little bit different this month. We're not gonna be choosing from the regular schmegular TBR jar. No, we're gonna be choosing from my holiday TBR jar. I did this for fall, where I made a separate TBR jar with more seasonal prompts, and I really enjoyed it because I feel like I got through a lot more of my fall TBR and just seasonal reads in general. So we are going to do it for the month of December. I have quite a few different little prompts in here. It doesn't look like that much, but you just gotta trust me on this one. There are 17 winter/holiday TBR prompts in here that we're going to be choosing from for today's video, and put it in my little green checkered mug because I thought it was cute. So these are the prompts that we're going to be choosing from today. As always, we like to go over new releases in this video as well, and there's quite a few coming out that I'm really intrigued by. The first one is actually out today on December 2nd, and it's by Fallon Ballard, and it is her debut romance. I've read a few just regular romances by her, and I really enjoyed one, did not like the other, so I'm interested to see what I would think of her writing and storytelling in the romantasy genre. It is called Something Wicked, and it's going to be a part of a series. This cover, stunning. A little blurb from it says that it is a little bit of a combination of Macbeth and Moulin Rouge. It seems like the more I read this, the more I'm like shocked by the plot, and there's a few things about the plot that you're just gonna have to read for yourself, but it sounds very dark and gothic and interesting, so I'd be interested to read it and give it a chance and see what I think. Next we have Seeing Other People. This is by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. I believe they're a married couple. They wrote The Roughest Draft, and I personally never read that, but I remember a few people talking about it a few years ago. But when I saw this, while I was doing a little bit of research as for books that are coming out right now that I might be interested in, it just sounds really interesting. It's magical realism. I feel like adding magical realism to anything just makes it even more interesting to me because I feel like it makes it more unique than just a regular romance book. And it seems like the main plot of this one, Morgan, who is being haunted by her ex, ends up meeting this guy named Sawyer who is haunted by his fiance, and work all this out together. It just sounds like a really fun premise. And the final new release I'm excited about is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This is the finale, I believe, to her Rome, Kentucky interconnected romance series. I've really been enjoying this series, specifically the one that came out earlier this year. It was really good. Big Bar or Steel. These are all following different siblings in this small town of Rome, Kentucky. This is following Madison, who moved out of their small town of Rome, Kentucky to New York to follow her dreams of being a chef, and it just really hasn't worked out, so she's moving back home because she got a really great job offer. But the catch is that it's with her brother's best friend. His name is James, and he has secretly loved Madison for years, and he owns a farm that Madison is going to be working with very closely because the new restaurant that she's going to be head chef at is a farm-to-table restaurant. And I feel like this plot just keeps getting a little bit messier because James has a younger younger brother who is trying to pursue Madison. So I'm really interested to see like that dynamic play out and if it's really going to be a true love triangle or if it's just going to be like a subplot. I don't really know, but this sounds really good. I've enjoyed these books in the series in the past, so I'm really excited for it. While choosing today's TBR, I want to be mindful of a few different things. Number one being my 10 before the end, which are 10 books that I want to read before the end of the year. I made a whole separate video on that, so go check that out if you want to know all those books on that list. And then I also do want to pay attention to my 2025 TBR as well. There's some on here that I've already read that I haven't colored in yet, so don't pay too much attention to that. I know the ones that I have and haven't read, so that's really all that matters as of this point, but there's still quite a few on this list that I have not read yet that I would love to knock out sometime in the month of December. As always too, we have my Kindle TBR. There are so many books that I have on my Kindle right now, whether they're from Libby or I'm getting them through Kindle Unlimited. And I'm really excited about a lot of these. I feel like every once in a while I go through different moods of being really into reading physical books or really into reading ebooks. And right now I am in an ebook reading mood. So I have been loving my Kindle recently and have been wanting to read quite literally everything on my Kindle. So I'm really excited about these books. I also have my audiobook TBR as well that we could choose from in today's video. And from my Kindle and my audiobook and my physical TBR, I am really just trying to prioritize finishing series and reading books that I've been putting off for a really long time for my December TBR, as well as possibly putting a few holiday books on there. And as for my mood, I am pretty much in the mood for anything. So let's just go ahead and get started and I can pick my first prompt. A blue cover. This is a great prompt because I feel like so many books have blue covers, so we're definitely gonna have a lot to choose from. I could choose Good Spirits, Bare Bones, The Second Chance Cinema, Beartown, which is definitely a contender. This is on my 10 before the end, so I really want to read this one, and I feel like I've been putting it off for so long. It's also just the perfect book to read in December, and I feel like because it was on my 10 before the end, a lot of you guys commented that you wanted me to read this really bad, and also told me it was the perfect time to read this, so this is a really good contender. Crescent City 2, Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I guess I could count Deep End. It is kind of like half blue, half purple, but I don't really want to read that one anyways, even though it is on my 2025 TBR. We'll see. I just don't really know what I'm going to think about that one, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to count the good part either because it's just the spine that's blue, the rest of it's orange. A Liar's Twisted Tongue, Along with You in the Ether, The Friend Zone, Renegades, Mad About You, Next of Kin, and I think that's it. Now, there were a lot of books that I just listed that I really do want to read and I'm really excited for, but none of them are quite taking the cake like Beartown is. Like, I have to choose this. I have heard amazing things about Frederick Bachman's writing and I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy it. I read a novella by him, The Answer Is No, earlier this year, and I really enjoyed the tone of it because I feel like he does a really good job at talking about serious things and thoughts and feelings while also having a very comedic air to them, which I feel like is very hard to do, but he does it very well just from the novella that I read. So I'm interested to see what I think of a full novel by him. I have a feeling I'm really gonna enjoy his writing because a lot of people who have very similar book tastes to me really enjoy his writing, and this is also a trilogy, so if I really like this one, it's the perfect time to start it because I can read the rest of the trilogy back to back, or at least closer together sometime this winter. This is in a town where probably the most notable thing about it is its hockey team, so it's really hyped up. It puts a lot of pressure on these kids, and I believe something very traumatic ends up happening. I have zero idea what that is, but I'm very interested to see what I think of it and how it ends up turning out. So Beartown by Frederick Bachman is going to be the first book on our December TBR. Let's go ahead and pick the next prompt. Matches the season. Okay, so anything wintry. I mean, Good Spirits is immediately standing out to me. It is perfect for the season that we're in. I feel like the only other wintry book that was on my physical TBR was definitely Beartown, so this is the only option on my physical TBR. Let's look at my Kindle TBR. I know that the next Emma M. Lyon book is set during November and December, but I don't know if I would describe that as matching the season, even though I really do want to read that book and I really want it to be on the TBR. Honestly, not really on my Kindle TBR and not really on my physical TBR either. That really matches the winter season. So I think I am just gonna go ahead and pick Good Spirits. I already explained to you guys what this was about earlier when I was talking about book of the month, but I'm really excited to read this. I feel like the plot just sounds really interesting to me, and I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it because it's a little bit different than the normal holiday book plot. So I feel like it's not gonna be as cheesy and as repetitive as those books can sometimes be. So I'm really excited to see what I think of this. So Good Spirits by B.K. Borison is going to be the second book on my TBR. Let's go ahead and pick the third book. Okay, a book on my 10 before the end. This is a great prompt to get. I mean, I know I made the prompts, but I'm really happy that I picked it. I feel like there are 3 in particular that I really want to read off of my 10 before the end. The first one is On a Sunbeam. I've been talking about this book so much, and specifically when I say I want to read this book, I want to read it in the winter time, so I would love to go ahead and knock it out before the year is over. The 2 other books that I'm thinking of are on my Kindle TBR. We have The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown, and then the 5th Unselected Journal of Emma and Lyon by Beth Brower. And as much as I would love to read both of those, I feel like since I own this physically, I should pick out this one. This is a sci-fi graphic novel with 2 intertwining storylines and timelines, and it's also about 2 girls who end up falling in love. On the back it says 2 timelines, second chances, and 1 love. Also, I have flipped through this so many times and the art in here looks fantastic, and I've just been wanting to read more graphic novels. Lottie actually gave this to me whenever we did our book swap back in June, and we've both been talking about how we both want to find other graphic novels that made us feel the same way that Heartstopper did. So I'm really excited that this is on my TBR for this month, and I cannot wait to get to it. So this is going to be the 3rd book on my TBR for December. So far, looking down at everything, I have a great array of genres. Everything is a different genre, so I'm really happy about that. And we also have 2 books on my 10 before the end, which is really good. So let's go ahead and pick my next prompt. A green cover, okay. I mean, the one that's instantly standing out to me is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a YA mystery series that I haven't read, but I feel like everybody else and their mother has read because it's an OG book talk book. I genuinely don't think I have any other green books. I mean, I have the X-Files down here, but the spine is green. Although, I don't know. I guess the cover is kind of green, but it's not like fully green like The Inheritance Games is. I don't know. I feel like The Inheritance Games is more green. The X-Files is on my 2025 TBR, but I feel like I want to read this in the summer, and I just didn't get to it last summer, and I don't want to force myself to read a book that's out of season, so I don't think I'm gonna read this one. I just went through my Kindle TBR and my audiobook TBR as well, and I feel like it's pretty clear as to what book I'm gonna pick. Like, this is the greenest book I have on my TBR without a doubt. Basically, this billionaire ends up leaving this girl named Avery, who he has really no connection to, I believe, his whole inheritance, and then there ends up being like this games for the inheritance, I guess, that Avery's a part of with his family. On the back it says secret passages, elaborate riddles, billions at stake. It just sounds really fun, fast-paced, classic YA mystery kind of vibes, and I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes is an author that I enjoy whenever I'm like feeling a little bit slumpy, so maybe this might be a good book to read after Beartown, because I feel like that one might emotionally like get me, so we'll have to see. So I guess this is the 4th book on my TBR, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I really was not going into this TBR thinking I was gonna pick it. Even though I did indeed write the prompts, I just was not thinking about the books that I had with a green cover on them. But nonetheless, I'm still really excited to read this. Time to pick prompt number 5. Okay, continue a series. I have a lot of different options that I could do, but I think I know exactly which series that I want to continue. It is the Unselected Journals of Emma and Lyon. All of these are on Kindle Unlimited. They're by Beth Brower. They are the perfect historical fictions. They're so witty and charming and fun. It's in the Victorian era of England, so it's very much giving Bridgerton vibes. I just absolutely love this series, and I cannot wait to continue it. And also, I've read them in a way where I'm up to the 5th one currently, and it is following the months of November and December, so I feel like this is the perfect time to read it. It's almost like a holiday read in a way, because I assume Emma's going to be doing certain holiday things, and I just cannot wait to continue the series. I have been reading like at least one every single month for the past few months, and I didn't read one in the month of November, so I'm really excited to get back into them in December. Let's go ahead and pick my 6th and final prompt. A book off of my 2025 TBR, a great prompt to end this video on. I do have quite a few books on this list that I don't physically own, but I think I'm just going to choose from the ones that are on my physical TBR and my Kindle TBR. So I could choose from The Book of Doors, The X-Files, One for My Enemy, Renegades, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, Deep End, or Belladonna. I think I do want to go with a fantasy, so I'm in between One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This is on my 10 before the end as well, so I would really love to read this before the end of the year. And also Renegades. My only thing is that Renegades is a part of a series, and do I really want to start another new series right now? Maybe later in the winter, but I feel like since One for My Enemy is a standalone, I should pick this one, and because I promised my friend Olivia I would read it before the end of the year. So it's not just on my 10 before the end, it is on like number 1, have to read this before the end of the year, or you know, maybe she won't be friends with me anymore. I don't think that would happen. I'm joking, but I do definitely want to read this for her, and because I think I would enjoy it a lot. So I do think I am going to pick One for My Enemy. This is following 2 rival family families in Manhattan, and they're witches. You guys know I love reading about witches. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I am a little bit nervous because I know a lot of people feel a lot of different feelings about Olivia Blake's writing, so I don't really know how I'll fare in my thoughts in that. But Olivia has read some of her other books because she absolutely loved this one, and she said this one is a lot different than the other books tone-wise, so I feel like I could really enjoy this one, and this is going to be the 6th and final book on my December TBR. Let's go ahead and do a quick little TBR recap. The first prompt I got was a blue cover, and I chose Beartown by Frederick Bachman. My next prompt was a book that matches the season. I chose Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. Then I had to choose a book on my 10 before the end, and I chose On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. After that, I had to choose a green cover, and I chose The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. My 5th prompt was to continue a series, and I'm going to be reading the 5th unselected journal of M.M. Lyon on my Kindle. And my 6th and final prompt was a book off of my 2025 TBR, and I chose One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. Looking at all the books on my December TBR, I feel like we have a great array of genres. I'm really excited about all of them, and also, we kind of do have like a winter looking theme here. I feel like that was very unintentional, but it looks really cool. So I'm really excited about all these books. If you guys have any thoughts on these books, if you've read them or want to see them in reading vlogs, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you watched until this far in the video, go ahead and comment down below the snowflake emoji so I know who the real ones are who watched until the very end. Thank you so much once again to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link down below in my description, and you can use the code HOLLY to get your first book for only $5. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, you can go ahead and follow up my socials. They are always linked down below in every single video, and I think that's going to be it for me today. I love you guys so much. Hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys. Peace.